We're here at Caravan Salon in Dusseldorf, Germany, where I found this brand here, Camppass, which is basically just compass, but kind of with their accent. And it is a really unique off-road style camper. They do full customizations on these as well. So a lot of really fun stuff to take a look at here, including movers down here that move your caravan or camper for you and park it for you electronically. So pretty dang interesting. Let's go take a look. Come on. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound. And again, we're here in Dusseldorf, Germany today, taking a look at this brand. This is Camppass. It's spelled C-A-M. Where is it at? I lost it. It's the CR650. Where's the brand name at? I just saw it somewhere. Now, before we get too far into this video, I do want to let you know I have another YouTube channel. It is called Firmly Unbound, and it is linked down below in the pinned comment and description of this video. If you're feeling curious, the kind of videos I post over there is traveling with my camper or caravan, if you're watching from Europe, across the United States. So if you're feeling curious and want to see what travel in something like this looks like across the United States, that link is down in the pinned comment below and in the description of this video to find my other YouTube channel called Firmly Unbound, where you can see all that travel. There it is right there. Okay, so you can see it's basically just like compass, essentially, but Camppass, and has two P's in it. So that is the brand name here. We have a couple different models to take a look at, but you can see here just a very like angular design, lots of rivets here, it looks like, for all of the exterior construction, because this is all a metal material on the outside. Various different color schemes, unique shaped like entry door even. And then this black one here, this is the one that they have like the most fully equipped here at this event. So we're going to kind of focus in on this one. You can see around the back, this even has an outdoor kitchen space right here. Kind of neat with that. Really nice, robust, very strong door there. That is, I mean, that thing is solid. So it looks really, really cool. See, it says adventure on the back there. Has some different lights as well. So you got auxiliary lights there. Have your awning here. So it has the arms that drop down when you want to drop those arms down for extra support, but it is also kind of like an armless awning. And one thing I definitely want to highlight on this before we go inside is a couple things underneath here. And they give you the mirrors here to kind of highlight this. But these are movers. So these are actual pieces of equipment that go up. It looks like, from what I can understand of this, is they go up against the tire. And they actually use motors to move the tires. And because you can move them like left and right wheel independently, you can turn this thing. And that allows you to basically electronically park this caravan or camper. This is something that's interesting. I've seen movers be listed as an option on different caravans here at this event. So it seems like you can get this on various different campers and caravans here in Europe, which is something I have not seen before in the United States. So with having that plus having a wheel on your tongue jack, so having a wheel up underneath there, that allows you to basically move this camper without having to be hooked up to a vehicle, which is pretty nice. That would be really handy. Down underneath here, you can see the suspension system there too. It does have what's looking like an independent suspension system there with shocks, and then you have your spring as well. So definitely, you know, equipped to go off-road without a doubt. And you kind of see up underneath here what the underbelly or undercarriage looks like there. But let's go ahead and hop inside. Outside's pretty self-explanatory, but you can see you also have all-terrain tires on here. And when we get a chance to walk inside here, of course, it's always tough at a event like this. There's always people walking in and out. But you know what? Let's keep going on the outside real quick while we have somebody stepping in there. You have this big outside storage area. Again, LED lighting in here. See nice solid metal doors on this. So just a big box up front. Okay, now we get a chance to walk inside. So as we step inside here, have our steps going in and look at how like tactical your whole setup here is right when you walk in. So you have all these very tactile like switches for your lights right there. It's all lights. You have a your projector light up front, your fridge power as well, and then you have different monitoring stuff here. Looks like it may have a generator on board as well potentially. Your AC selectors. And we step inside. Very, very cool look inside of here. It's very moody on the lights. The lights are a little bit on the dim side. And it kind of has like a boat style flooring in here. So very neat. This flooring here does feel like hard, but I stepped in the other one that's right next to us, and it actually had like a squishy style floor as well. So it seems like they have different options. But we'll start from the back and work our way forward. We have a U-shaped dining table here with a pedestal style table. So this can drop down as well, and I'm sure it makes into a bed. It looks like we have some little platform pieces here that come out that can allow that to make into a bed. But everything in here, this is all metal. So no wood inside of here. I mean, metal countertops, even let's see what these sidewalls are. These might be fiberglass, it feels like, but very, very good quality inside of here. There's no wood whatsoever that I can find anywhere. So if we see any, I'll let you know, but I do not see any wood materials at all. Coming up front, you have little reading lights there in the corner, the LED lighting up through here. Just look at how spectacular that looks. That is awesome. You have a TV installed on this model. A lot of caravans or RVs in Europe do not come with TVs, so surprised to see it in this. Got your skylight up above there as well. And that is part of this too, I think, just showing the options. Like, they will make these campers from this brand however you want. So that's an option where you can add it. Got your pull down privacy shade on the window, bug screen from the bottom, and then an outlet right there as well. And that's pretty much everything in this space. So pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Table feels pretty nice. Keep moving around this way. You have your 2-burner stove and your sink top. And then these both will flip down to give you that extra countertop space. Have your drawers that open up. There's a twist lock on them. And then these are all metal drawers. Basically feels like a toolbox kind of, construction. See underneath here, that'll just open up to open storage down under there. Over here, kind of curious to see what they got going on here. It looks like they got some power equipment there. That looks like it might be an inverter. Here, I imagined it had a pretty robust power system. That might be a solar charge controller there with an inverter. I can't imagine this thing is equipped with anything less than the proper, kind of battery and inverter setup needed to run this off of your electrical system. Have a vent fan here in the ceiling. And then as we come back this way, it's kind of cool. This is almost equipped, like if you want to, partner up with a buddy and go travel the world, y'all can both have your own beds here, and would be a sweet setup to be able to do that. They can configure these to be however you want though, because you can convert that space back to make into a bed if you want to sleep there, and you could put seating in here. You could put a dining table in here. They were kind of telling me that those are different options that they have available. And this bunk does remove out of here, so you can also take this bunk out. Hopefully there you go. Make sure that ladder doesn't fall over. But you can flip this bunk up out of the way. I think you can even take it out completely. Those are definitely options. And then get that ladder back in the latches there. It does have this ladder here for you to use to get up onto that bunk. But mattresses that it comes with are pretty decent, and these bunks are long. They look like they're over 6 feet long here, so plenty of good sleeping space. Then we come back this way. We have our refrigerator along this back wall. So refrigerator and freezer portion. Right there, it looks like it is a 12-volt refrigerator and freezer. I don't see any propane fins, which would make sense on a, kind of off-grid camper like this that's coming with a really robust electrical system. Little storage slot up there, and then we got a little cubby right here for some storage, plus a bunch of cabinet doors right when we walked in the door. Also has a bug screen for the entry door, so you can see the screen that will come down and cover this entry door. It's a unique, almost like coffin shape to the entry door, so that's another cool, unique aspect to this thing. And then back here we have a wet bath setup. So you have your shower here in the toilet area. You have this sliding shower door. That is like a plexiglass style shower door, it feels like. Don't know if there's lights in here. I feel like there's gotta be. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so you have lights in here. Now you can see these lights are much warmer out here than in here. So much cooler light tone going into the bathroom. Got your toilet back in this space. Looks like it is a cassette style toilet. So we'll see when we go outside on that. Got your sink right here. That is like a porcelain or ceramic like material there. And some storage space down underneath here. So pretty cool. The basically faucet here is going to act as your shower head as well. So that is what you will use to take a shower. But the shower this bathroom space is pretty narrow. I mean, if I try to get into this space, it's a little tight in here. It's definitely like workable, but it's tight. It's a little small space. Also want to let you know while we're in here real quick, for your RVs, this here is liquefied. This is a black tank solution for your RVs that you can find on Amazon, as well as within the United States at Blue Compass RV dealerships across the country and Walmart. They have it in this pod formula, liquid formula, and powder formula, and it's going to make sure that everything that goes into your toilet gets liquefied so it drains out properly and will keep your RV smelling fresh. So get that for your RV. So that's pretty much everything on the inside. Pretty simple and straightforward, but just really cool look and aesthetic in there. Definitely very expressive with that. And as we come around the outside, let's walk around here. They do have a window on the entry door. Up here, I'm still learning a little bit about their hitches and stuff like this. I don't know if this is a full articulating hitch or what it is exactly, but I would imagine on something like this it is. But this is kind of standard equipment. Almost everything I've seen in terms of towable trailers has some sort of hitch and tongue jack setup that looks like this. They all have these ALKO brand frames on them. That's pretty standard equipment. Okay, here's your cassette tank here. So that's your black tank there. It pulls out like a little piece of luggage where you can dump your black tanks. And then you see the non-campsite here of this camper. Really dang cool, very impressive. Looks like we have manual stabilizers, but look at how beefy these stabilizers are. Those things are chunky. Oh my goodness. And you can see the spot right here where you can attach in to drop those down. So pretty nice. Just very, very interesting camper. It's so fun to take a look at this stuff. Looks like you have a little flip down what could be a little tabletop space here. And then see the back from this side here. Looks like you also have some sort of like winch system here. Underneath there, backup camera right here as well. Very interesting. So let me find the price on this. And like I said, there's various different options out here from this brand too. These are one of the bigger ones they have. They even have some little small stuff like this as well. And some with like pop tops on them. So pretty fun, really cool stuff. Let me find the price and some specs for you and then we'll get this wrapped up. So right here you can see it looks like the price on this is somewhere around like 74,000 euros to 81,000 euros. So that's going to put this essentially like in US dollars, somewhere around that like 90 to $100,000 price range. Kind of what I would expect for something like this in the United States, because the US doesn't really have a whole lot that is like this. There's, very, very few brands. And I think the reason why is because it is very expensive to build something like this. So that's about what the price would come in at. Now, in terms of like the specs on this, when you're looking at something like the, tow vehicles here in Europe, it's definitely a little different than what we see in the United States. So for instance, on this one here, some recommended vehicles for this in Europe would be things like the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. It also mentions like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or a Ford Everest as being potential options, the Volkswagen Touareg and the Audi Q5. Obviously, then we have our pickup trucks as well, if you find them out here in Europe, because they're rare. I have seen a couple Ford Rangers, and then they also mentioned like the Toyota Hilux and the Volkswagen Amarok. So that's kind of what you're looking at in the European markets. But obviously in America, this would be something that would be suitable. It seems like with the weights on this would be suitable for something like a Toyota Tacoma and up, or a Chevy Colorado and up. So pretty much any sort of, modern truck in America for the most part would be able to handle something this size, since it's not too big, which makes it a really cool option, but it is quite expensive. So curious what you think. Let me know down below in the comments, and that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.